Some video games just don't make good movie adaptations. Return to Silent Hill just hit theaters this weekend, and if you've never seen Silent Hill 1, don't worry, you don't need to. It has nothing to do with this one. Return to Silent Hill is its own standalone movie based on Silent Hill 2, the video game, and it's about this guy named James who gets a letter from his lost love, Mary, so he's drawn back to Silent Hill to try to find her. I was actually super excited for Return to Silent Hill. Even though I've never played any of the video games, I really enjoy the first Silent Hill movie, and all the characters in here are just so badass. Mostly what I was worried about was that there was going to be terrible CGI, but honestly, that was the least of my problems with this one. I think the biggest downfall of this is that the storyline doesn't translate well to a movie. Silent Hill 2 has to do a lot with guilt and loss and trauma, and when you are playing this game for hours on end as the character, the story just unravels at a smoother, more comprehensible pace. So when translating that over to a movie, it doesn't really work because everything just gets so compressed that the story isn't unraveling in the pace that it should. It's just like fever dream after fever dream. And that's not to say that they didn't try, because there are scenes in here where we can tell it was deliberately shot for us to feel like the video game player, but the story is just not there, so it's almost like it didn't really matter. Overall, I gave Return to Silent Hill a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd, which I'm really bummed about because I thought it was going to be higher, but that's okay. At least we got to see Pyramid Head.
The worst movie that I have seen in my life. Do not watch this slop, okay? You know what it is? All it is an advertisement for not doing drugs while you're driving. That's it. It's just a bad trip, and it's not one that I consented to being on. Thank you.
The atmosphere is where this movie really shines, from the fog, the creatures, the big game set pieces. It does an amazing job of bringing this world to life. And wow, that soundtrack. Bringing in the GOAT, Akira Yamaoka, to compose this movie was brilliant. Performance-wise, I feel like the actors did good for what they had script-wise, but Angela's actress, Hannah Emily Anderson, does such an amazing job of bringing her character to life, and really did her justice. And now the bad. There's definitely a big pacing issue throughout the movie, with some moments being stretched out a little bit too much and others being rushed. There's also a good bit of change to the overall main story, which didn't really make sense tonally to me at least. Overall, I'm giving Return to Silent Hill a 6.5 out of 10, and it's definitely going to split fans down the middle, but if you truly love these games and want to spend more time with this world, I definitely recommend giving it a chance and watching it.
And I actually had a little hope and optimism for this one because they brought back the director of the Silent Hill film from 2006, which definitely has its issues, but in my opinion is one of the better video game adaptations. Well, unfortunately, that 20-year wait was not worth it, because not only is this just a bad film in general, this is a fucking abysmal adaptation of Silent Hill 2. Now, to give a little credit, the lead actor does a decent job. There is some good production value in a few segments where they're directly recreating some of the settings of the game, and I do think that some of the creature designs are well translated into movie form as well. Judging it purely as a movie, I did not like the look of this film at all. It is harshly overlit. Everything looks like this uncanny valley, and even more so when you get into the more CGI driven segments of the film. It's terribly paced because for some reason they decided to incorporate all of these needless flashback sequences, so as soon as you really start to get into the tension of the movie, it pauses just to send you to a sequence that feels like it doesn't even belong in this film. So many elements of the plot, and especially all the side characters, get so shortchanged and cut down that they feel basically pointless aside from like a quick cameo. And many of the new elements that they add to the story never justify their existence. They never tie themselves directly into the plot that we're actually experiencing, and almost all of them are left completely open and ambiguous in a way that pisses you off. And it's abundantly clear whoever wrote the screenplay for this has no idea why people love Silent Hill 2. They have no idea what the actual point and value of Silent Hill 2 is, and it feels like they just read a Wikipedia summary and then waited a year and tried to recreate that from memory. Integral side characters and their thematic stories are completely cut down to nothing. The entire motivation of James finding Mary is altered in a way that is maddeningly stupid, and even the actual twist at the end of the game, which is like the most integral part, somehow they fucked that up too. Pyramid Head has no looming presence throughout this movie. He just shows up for a couple of sequences to give you a little bit of fan service, and then even the boss battle characters pop up in this game for a moment or two, but they're never used for any boss battles, a fight, a struggle, a chase. They're just there. I'm just really over these amazing games getting these dog shit effortless adaptations like this. It's frustrating enough as a fan of the games to experience it getting bastardized on screen. It's a frustration on another level to know that so many other people that have never experienced how awesome that game is, this is going to be their one and only experience with the story of Silent Hill 2. With big successes like The Last of Us and Fallout, I'm starting to lean towards just wanting any video game adaptation to go the TV series route. Don't even bother with movies anymore. And for the love of God, if you're not going to do it right, don't fucking touch it.
I did not go to the cinema today expecting Silent Hill to be a good movie in any sense of the word, but I didn't expect it to be this awful. The one compliment I could give it would be its music, and I guess that the bits that they added on to the story in like the most basic like details were good, but my God, the script dialogue and the way everything happened was insane. The movie starts out with James driving his Mustang down the road on like some cliffside road super fast, and then, oh my God, there's a semi! He gets out of the way. Like, wow, what a great opening scare.
I watched Return to Silent Hill yesterday, and this is my no spoiler review.
What the fuck was that?
They knew they had all the pieces to make this movie cook, but they just didn't. It's so crazy. The atmosphere is great. They had the entire soundtrack at their disposal, but they didn't use it. You know, I'd be okay if like one or two things were changed, but how do you expect an entire Silent Hill 2 movie to play out if it's only like 1 hour, 30 minutes? You have to cut corners somewhere. Cut corners, they did. Cut corners, they did. My God. But is it a good movie though? I think so. Honestly, I don't know. I watched it with no expectation whatsoever. Maybe some, I hope it's good, but I enjoyed it as a follow-up to the original Silent Hill movie by Christoph Gans as well. I think that's all I have to say about it. The ending was kind of sweet. The dynamic of Mary and James as actors, amazing. Amazing. Everything else, Angela was fine, I guess. Eddie was there. Yeah, I won't dissuade you from watching it, honestly. Just go watch it, make your own opinions, tell me what you think. Yeah.
Watch Return to Silent Hill. Don't listen to these critics because they can only handle a 10-second TikTok video. Let's be honest. IGN, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, they're all out of touch critics. The same with these influencers who get paid to promote shit or paid to bring things down. Return to Silent Hill is an amazing film. I am on here speaking out against these kind of people because I'm over them ruining the fun of films. This movie has so much depth to it, character development. It's so fucking incredible. It's such an emotional ride. And for those who haven't played the games, honestly, go and check the games out. Go watch some gameplays before you go on there so you understand the concept of the visuals and the stories and how it all meshes together. The cutscenes are like straight out of a fucking PlayStation 2 game, but real as fuck. And the fact that this got people crying, like, it's a fucking great film. Go watch it. 10 out of 10. Do not believe these critics. Watch it for what it is. Don't let their fucking shitty, narcissistic views destroy the way you want to watch this. Like, we all have this fucking high expectations these days of like, oh, if it's not a fucking Avatar film over-drenched with fucking CGI and fucking effects, then it's not good. Or if it's not sophisticated like fucking Mighty Supreme, then it can't possibly be good because it's a horror. This movie has sophistication to it, and it's male-led, and not just because it's male-led, but it's got a balance of female and male and everything else in between. It's a great film. 10 out of 10. Go and watch that shit.
If you've never played this game, you're going to be completely lost during this movie. So to start with the positives, I thought this movie captured the atmosphere, the tone, the story itself very well. The inner monologues, some of the creatures, it definitely gave me a little bit of nostalgia, which I appreciated. Now for the negatives. The lead character. I'm not saying he's a bad actor, but you can tell he was an English actor. And there were quite a few times where he was having trouble masking his accent. It slipped out a few times as well. I also couldn't get over the fact of how much he looked like Theo Von. There was tons of CGI. Not all of it looked bad, but there was definitely a lot more bad than there was good. Now, I liked that they tried to do a few of these like video game POV shots, but it looked so animated and not good that it took me right out of the movie every time that it came up. And they also tried doing like these cutscene type edits, and it just didn't work because, again, it just looked way too animated. And the pacing. This movie is paced like the video game. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, yes, just like that. Now with the ending. Obviously, if you've played the game, you know there's multiple different endings in this game. So what they tried to do was merge like all of them together, and that also took me out of it. Like, it just felt very undeserved.
Okay, what the hell are we doing here? We need to stop making Silent Hill movies because there has not been one good Silent Hill movie in the history of this franchise. We need to stop it right here with this movie. This movie has a runtime of about an hour and 46 minutes, and Avatar 3 felt shorter than this movie. Man, I was fighting demons in this movie. I was falling asleep. It was so boring. The acting was just not great. The movie is based off Silent Hill 2, the game, which I played and I love. It's a fantastic game. Play it if you haven't played it. But man, this was just not a great adaptation. We need to just stop making Silent Hill movies and just focus on remaking the games and possibly newer games in the future. If you're a Silent Hill fan like me, you will surely be disappointed with this movie. If you are not a Silent Hill fan, I recommend just playing the games. It is a way better experience than the movies have been, especially this one. We need to just stop it. There was maybe one or two cool scenes in the entire movie where I'm like, oh my god, like the game, that's so cool. But then after that, straight downhill. I did not like this movie at all. I'm sorry. I just have to be completely honest.
Here are my thoughts on the new Return to Silent Hill movie. No spoilers ahead. So first off, was this a good adaptation? No, it was not. But did I like the movie nonetheless? Yes, I did. First, I want you to put this in the perspective of the in-movie universe. This movie works better as a sequel to the very first Silent Hill movie, directed also by Christopher Gans. I had an amazing movie-going experience with a really fun crowd. There's a lot of things that this movie does right and a lot of things that it does wrong. But let me get one thing straight with you guys. This tomato meter, I'm sorry, but it is wrong. It is nowhere near as bad as Silent Hill Revelation. To be honest, I like it better than the very first Silent Hill movie. And I am a Silent Hill mega fan. I have played the remake. I've played the original. I even went out of my way to find the slipcover edition of the Silent Hill movie. What this movie really tried to do was bridge the gap that Silent Hill fans have been trying to do. And I can respect that because there are two different types of Silent Hill games. Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3 that deals with a cult. And then games like Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill F that deal with somebody's inner psyche, their inner turmoil. And this movie really tried hard to bridge the gap. Now, nobody asked them to try to build the gap, but they tried nonetheless. There aren't too many things that I can talk about without talking about spoilers. As an adaptation for Silent Hill 2, it doesn't work as much. But as a sequel to the original movie and trying to take things from the video game, I think it succeeds.
For gamers, this movie sticks pretty close to the plot of that game, down to some scenes being almost a exact shot-for-shot remake of the cutscenes. I will say, as always, never expect a one-to-one comparison. This is not the game, and it shouldn't be the game. It's its own thing. Jeremy Irvin plays James Sunderland, and I honestly thought he did a really great job in the role. I liked him too in movies like Warhorse and The Woman in Black 2. Here he does pretty good. He gives his own stamp to James. I thought it was interesting that Hannah Emily Anderson plays not one, not two, but three different characters in this movie. She was definitely the most compelling as Angela. The real success of this movie for me, though, was how it adapts the monsters. The Silent Hill monsters have a deeper meaning beyond just nasty creature, which I think has always set the series apart from others like Resident Evil. To see so many of them realized exactly from the video game was really satisfying to me, especially the abstract daddy, which was just disgusting. I think visually this is a really gorgeous looking movie. I love the way Gon envisioned the decaying otherworld of the games. And all the environments were so cool to see, like the Brookhaven Hospital, Woodside Apartments, and of course, Lakeview Hotel. I definitely missed the Toluca prison a bit, but I can see how it might not have fit into the story that Gon was telling. Overall, I think this was a really great horror movie. It was a nice way to keep up the momentum from Primate and 28 years later, The Bone Temple in terms of 2026 horror. And I would give this movie a solid 8 out of 10.
Oh my god, me and Gramps are back. We just went, I went into the theaters and saw Silent Hill. Return to Silent Hill. And my good lord, is it hard to find this movie in theaters. I don't know why. It's Silent Hill, okay? The movies, the video games are a big deal, okay? I haven't played any of them, so I'm kind of like a poser. I love Silent Hill, but never played any of the games, because I'm an idiot. Why isn't it showing in any theaters at all? I had to drive an hour. To go see this movie. Also, if you get there before they run out, they give you a little postcard. You see that? Look at this. Wish you were here? Silent Hill is a little postcard. So you get this when you go into the theater. It's pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, it was not great, gonna be honest with you. I really like the first movie. Is like one of my favorite movies like ever. Silent Hill Revelations is kind of like really terrible, and this one's kind of like in the middle where it's very confusing to me. Okay, probably because I haven't played the games. Maybe that would help, but no idea what's going on like the entire movie. It's very confusing. You don't know what's real and what isn't real, and the reason why I like the first one so much is because most of it's like practical effects and like people in suits, but a lot of the stuff in this new movie is like almost entirely CGI, and it's weird. And most of this movie, it looks like a video game. Like, it doesn't even look real. The whole thing almost looks CGI. It's very unsettling. It's weird. Okay, it's weird. It looks weird. The whole thing looks weird. It's just weird. I didn't think it was bad, just confusing, a little bit devastating, and way sadder than I thought it was going to be. Wasn't too terrible. Was I let down a little bit? A little bit. I've been waiting for this movie for about 3 years, but that's okay. But yeah, if you're a fan of Silent Hill, then I'd recommend going and watching it in theaters if you can find a theater that shows the movie.
I see, let's say, 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think to myself, but it might work for me. And thus, I saw Return to Silent Hill. And here's the deal. There's a couple decent jump scares. There are some striking visuals. More than a few. Like, incredible visuals in this movie. Disturbing, awful, grotesque, but interesting. And gorgeous in how grotesque they are, visuals. But sometimes, when you take an immersive video game and you turn it into a movie, it feels a little bit like you're watching someone else play a video game, which can be fun, but even when you're watching somebody play a great video game, there's always a moment where you want to turn to them and be like, hey, this is great. Can I play now? And that's kind of how this movie felt. There were multiple times I just wanted to turn and say, hey, can I play now? And the guy next to me kept being like, hey, stop asking me that. You know, it's a movie. What are you doing? You psycho. And I was like, psychosexual. And he was like, I don't know what that is. Stop it. Cut it out. But we come to this place for magic. And sometimes that's being given a postcard that says, wish you were here. And it's a little postcard for Silent Hill. I'll keep that forever. If this doesn't get you to go to the movies, what would? What would? He screamed into the night. I have to go by.
Return to Silent Hill is yet another video game adaptation in live action that was not done well at all. Now we just got to see what they got to do with the Resident Evil live action movie by Zach Cregger. I hope that if Leon Kennedy is in this new Resident Evil movie, they actually make him look like Leon Kennedy, because, James Sunderland in the new Return to Silent Hill movie, I feel like it doesn't really look like him at all. It's not that hard. Give him his blonde hair. Give him his iconic hairstyle. Give him all the outfits that he needs and bulk up the actor for whoever is going to end up playing him. That's all you need.
So Return to Silent Hill sucked pretty hard. I really love the second game, so just do yourself a favor and play the game and don't watch this. But we got a cool postcard when we went to go see it. And then this was my face going into the movie right here. And then my reaction after.
Okay, so I just saw Return to Silent Hill, and the reviews are not great, but I went to go see it as someone who loves Silent Hill 2. I was so excited for this movie, and long story short, I loved the movie. I can see why people don't like it, but it did a lot of good things for the plot and story, staying true to some elements and completely changing it in others. You have to go into this film if you love the series or the video game. You have to understand that it has to be changed some ways, and I think the way they changed it fits well for a movie because of how much they can explore in the backstory and then also adding to it in other ways. Now, for example, the movie goes along and there's kind of his flashbacks and then the actual horror of it. The actual horror of it is one storyline that he's going through, and that is very true to a lot of the plot points of the video game. But the flashbacks are definitely taking liberties and trying to cohesively add an extra storyline or fill in the storyline as it goes so that you feel for the characters. I really think it was done well so that you are like, what's happening? What is new? Why is James, going through this storyline, and is he starting to fall in love with her, fall out of love with her? Like, what's going on in his past? And I thought that was really done well, because that's what the movie needed to do to make us care about Mary and make us care about James and how it ends in the ending. I think going into the movie, it's very helpful to know that all of the horror is truly James, and all of the characters are James in a way. They're showing his guilt, his grief, and reflections of what Mary must be feeling. And the horrors are all of the psychological horror that he's going through after the death of his, girlfriend. Now, I loved it. I think everyone should give it a watch. I think this movie will need 5 years or 10 years to get good, per se, because of the subject material, because of the way it's handled, and because people need to do their homework and need to understand the story and the relevance of what was going on, because it even goes beyond the video game. It kind of touches on some fan theories that were, talked about after Silent Hill 2 remake was published. There's people online that asked, for example, why is James coming back always to this horror of Silent Hill? Why is he being called back? And the other important thing is you should listen to Christoph Gans, the director, and how he says that it's a love story. And he really made this a grotesque love story, because I believe the point of this film is to show that James finally comes to terms with what happened to his girlfriend, but also recognizes the true love that he has for his girlfriend, and he would choose to go through all of it again and again, even the horrors, because of this incredible love he has. So that's my take. Also, don't mind the spots on my nose. I had stuff lasered on my nose. But yeah, that's my take. I thought it was an excellent film. Hats off to the director, the story. There are a few negatives, I will say. Definitely, you can hear the accent come through in some of the actors, that you can tell they're not American, and obviously it's an American characters that are in the storyline, because it takes place in New England. And there's small things here and there that obviously you just have to accept. Like, it's quirky, it's odd, and some things don't make sense. But that's why we love Silent Hill in a way, is that there's some things that just are random and don't make sense. So you have to just accept that. Overall, it was 9 or 10 out of 10 for me, because it made me feel the feels that I needed to feel. Thank you for the creators of Silent Hill. Thank you, Konami. Thank you, Christoph Gans, and the actors and the set design. I thought it was great.